I've been practicing lucid dreaming for a few years and I can't say that I have mastered it, but I have at least enough knowledge to get you started. I've made a tutorial explaining how to have your first lucid dream. This tutorial just goes over some of the basics, so keep that in mind. So, to those who don't know what lucid dreaming is, here's a brief explanation. Lucid dreaming is the act of waking up inside your dream and realizing that you are dreaming, and use that to control the environment of the dream. Sounds fun? Well, it's not as simple as it sounds. You can't just watch the video and expect to fly around in your dreams. You gotta take it step by step and have patience. Lucid dreaming is also the most efficient way to cure recurring nightmares. So for those who experience nightmares every night, you may not need to suffer anymore. First, you will need to have decent dream recall. It doesn't matter if you become lucid if you don't remember it. I would highly recommend getting a dream journal where you spend a few minutes right after you wake up writing down stuff about the dream. You should write down the plot, special characters, and maybe draw a vivid picture from the dream. Remember to write in the present. It doesn't need to have correct grammar or punctuation. You will just need to be able to read it back later. If you don't remember, grab for anything you can recall from your dream and try to work backwards. If you still don't remember anything, write down stuff like sleep patterns, what you ate, etc. This may feel like a chore, but remember, you are learning a lifelong skill. You may feel like doing this without getting any immediate reward is a waste of time. But as with every other skill in life, you got to practice a lot. Now that you remember your dream, we can move on to the next step, trying to recognize you are asleep. It is harder than it sounds, because when you're dreaming, you're naturally assuming that everything is true. How do you know you're not dreaming right now? You may say that you are thinking, hearing, etc., but this logic can apply to dreams too. So how can you be 100% certain you are not awake? Let me introduce you to reality checks. A reality check is basically something you can do that gives a different outcome in the real wake life and the dreaming world. Different reality checks works for different people. My personal favorite is to pinch my nose and try to breathe through it. This will obviously not work in real life, but while dreaming, it's just your dream hand closing your nose, and in reality, you are just lying in bed so you can still breathe. Another reality check is to look at a text or at your watch and looking away and then back again. If the text or numbers change, then it's a dream. This is because your unconscious, who is making the dream, is really bad at consistency, and therefore it changes. Try to do one right now. Now you need to make it a habit to do reality checks regularly. But not just do one and continue your life, but instead put real thought into it. Ask yourself, am I dreaming? In the beginning, you should choose an object you see about 10 to 15 times a day, and every time you see it, make a reality check. By making this in the real world, this habit would transfer to the dream world, and this would trigger your lucidity. This is called a DILD. With these things in mind, you will probably have a lucid dream in a week, but you shouldn't give up after a week. I've heard about people who had their first lucid dream after a few months. But the more you want it, the more likely you are to have it. It's truly psychological. If you expect something to happen in the dream world, it will happen. This is truly fascinating to me. My first lucid dream only lasted a few seconds, and your first will probably do the same. This is the reason you will need to learn how to make your dreams longer. While dreaming, most of your brain is shut off, and therefore it will be harder to focus than while awake. And judging from the classes, it's not easy for you to focus even while being fully awake. So you will need to extend the lucidity and have absolutely no doubts you are inside your own dream. So firstly, you will need to do some reality check to make sure you aren't in reality. Secondly, you can do some maths in your head. It doesn't have to be complicated. You just need to do some simple calculations like 12 plus 37. You should also rub your hands against each other, making some kinesthetic sensations. This way, you're activating parts of your brain that is usually inactive during sleep. You can also say out loud, I am inside my own head. Saying that out loud makes you more confident, which helps in cementing the lucidity in your head. This step is the most essential when trying to lucid dream. And missing this step is a very common mistake made by beginners. This will decide the outcome of the dream, and depending on how well you do this, will both determine the length but also the intensity of the dream. You will still need to make regular reality checks, or otherwise you will turn into a semi-lucid state, later turn the dream back into a normal, boring dream. If you feel like the dream is slipping away, try to spin around. This will give you more time to react. But the side effect by doing this is that the landscape will disappear, so you will need to imagine a new one. You can also try to fall backwards. This makes a lot of kinetic sensations, potentially working you up, so this should only be used as a last resort. Now what, you might ask? While awake, you should set a dream intention, something you would do once you get lucid, so try to recall the intention. You should also have a backup goal, just in case you forgot to set one. Firstly, you may want to fly, but through lucid dreaming, you can actually talk to your own unconsciousness by just shouting out the question. It will respond not in words, but through the dream itself. Now you have come longer than I have. Now you need to experiment on your own. Maybe search the internet for more advanced techniques like wild, mild, or other stuff. The only thing that limits you is your imagination, literally. Good luck with your lucid dreaming career.